Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Cinnamonchat, Sri Lanka's longest running LinkedIn live talk show. It is also Sri Lanka's first LinkedIn live talk show. And I've been running this for about good 85 episodes. And then this year we decided to relaunch it with a little bit of color and variety added to it. So I decided to bring in two co-hosts. And then apparently they are my children, two teenagers, because eventually when I'm gone, probably they could take over the show and take it forward. And we used to bring guests and speak, but then for this year we haven't still brought a guest. Instead, we had our first show, three of us together last maybe around 2 weeks ago, and then this is the second one. Of course, we are planning to bring some guests. So talking about me, I'm an executive coach, and then I help organizations with their B2B sales, and then I work with CEOs and entrepreneurs on another dimension in helping them grow their personal brand. And then my two kids, of course, they are schooling, but apart from schooling, they are also entrepreneurs. So let me bring in my two co-hosts. First, I'll bring my elder son. Good evening to you.
Hi, thanks for having me. Good evening.
Yeah, and thank you very much for making time for this show. Now, we agreed that we go live on Thursday night, so they had to do some adjustments with regard to their tuition classes, other arrangements with their friends. And then we bring the other young gentleman, Netila. Good evening.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yeah. So, ada api katha karanne yanne, this is for the benefit of Sri Lankans. Ada api katha karanne yanne තරුණ දරුවන්ට social media හොඳ දෙයක් වෙනුවෙන් කොහොමද භාවිතා කරන්න පුළුවන් කියලා. කොහොමද මේ social media කියන නරකයි කියලා හිතන දේ තමන්ගේ යහපතට පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන් කියන එක තමයි අද අපි කතා කරන්න යන්නේ. ඉතින් මේ දවස්වල ටිකක් උණුසුම් මාතෘකාවක්. This is a hot topic. Social media and teenagers, they think it's like maybe, let's say, fuel and fire. You don't put them together. I think Sinhala chuttak vitara katha karanawa Sri Lankikayo wenuwen. A few questions I will ask in Sinhala language for the benefit of the Sinhala speaking crowd. There's quite a lot of Sinhala speaking crowd who are joining us every week. So there had been a request. So instead of taking the whole conversation in English language, I'm mixing and matching. Some questions and some sections will go in the Sinhala language. So my first question is for Netila. When did you start using social media? When did you expose to social media?
So I got exposed to social media basically at the young age of 10 years old. That was around the time when I appeared in some of your videos where I would interview some business people. And then after that, I started my own YouTube channel where I interviewed successful CEOs, because after doing videos of interviewing people who knew business, I had a little interest in business that slowly developed as time passed. And I started my own YouTube channel where I interviewed successful entrepreneurs and CEOs to learn from them. So that's where I started getting exposed to things like YouTube. And then I learned about other stuff like Twitter, Facebook. I didn't get into them, but I started to learn about them and what happens inside of those social media apps.
Yeah. So one of the things that we need to understand, the understanding that the parents do have with regard to social media also is playing a vital role. So as a father, as the dad, I decided to expose them in bite size or in let's say slow motion instead of exposing them to social media at once. So it was a bit of a gradual process which will not be overwhelming to the kids. ළමයින්ව expose කරනකොට social media වලට මං හිතන්නේ ඒක පොඩ්ඩ සිද්ධ වුණා නම් හොඳයි එකපාරට සිද්ධ වෙන්නේ නැතුව. So we have two viewers who are coming here. Good evening. This is Dilani, all the way from Kandy. Thank you for joining with us. And then we have Tamit. Good evening. Nice to see you all. Yes, I need to catch up with you. Very difficult to catch you. So, yes. So, my next question is to Sehandu. What was your first social media experience? Now you are 18. When did you start exposing to social media?
Me personally, my first ever exposure to social media was actually over on YouTube. At the age of 13 is when I started my YouTube channel, and I've been making videos ever since. Of course, I switched platforms. I expanded to Instagram, TikTok, and then I stopped YouTube for a while, started it again. But my first experience is on YouTube.
Okay, so talking about YouTube, so you created your own channel, as far as I can remember. You and I got together and created a YouTube channel. You want to talk about that YouTube channel? At that time, what was your objective? What was you behind? What were you trying to do? Can you recall?
Yeah, at the time, actually, I think I remember you actually gave me the idea to start a YouTube channel because I didn't really know that much. But after getting exposed, I tried out various different things. You name it, I've tried it. Gaming videos, cooking videos, vlogs, product reviews, game reviews, app reviews, literally every single thing. Before I stopped making videos on that channel, I think I've tried pretty much everything that you could think of. And I think it was good because that was kind of the experimental stage where I got to no one to kind of criticize or judge. Of course, I got feedback from my friends, but nothing to worry about, no big audience. I don't have to worry about, okay, if this video doesn't perform as well as it wanted to, what if it's not up to the standard. More of like just a kid having fun. It's like a kid who got a new toy, just having fun.
Okay, so we have few other friends. Tishan, good evening. And Dilani has a comment here. Here, I would like to share my experience regarding social media. Social media helped to build my company and use Facebook initially. I see social media as a place that is full of opportunities. Of course, using social media is something that we should do with responsibility. Yes. So today's actually the topic is about social media for teenagers, young kids. I mean, Netila actually got exposed to social media at the age of 10, and Sehandu maybe at the age of 12. He got exposed to YouTube. When I say exposed to YouTube, it's not about consuming YouTube content, but it's more or less about they became creators. They both started the channels. So we have another viewer here, Aruna. Hi Aruna, thank you for joining with us. Let's go to the next question. So Natila, what made you join LinkedIn? Now, why I ask these questions, I know the reasons why you joined LinkedIn, but this is to expose you, or rather, this is for parents who are watching here to know what they could do to help their children navigate social media. So let's talk about your LinkedIn journey, Natila, in the sense like not the journey, as what made you join LinkedIn?
So, since I started my YouTube channel to interview entrepreneurs and CEOs, I created my LinkedIn profile back when COVID started, and I started my LinkedIn profile so I could get connected to other CEOs and other entrepreneurs, and I could ask them for an interview. I could connect with them and I could message them and say, hi, could we do an interview by any chance? Something like that. And in general, when I use LinkedIn, it's my main personal brand development platform. So that's why I use LinkedIn for, and that's the reason I got into LinkedIn. And because I got into LinkedIn, I was invited to speak at a lot of events and a lot of podcasts. So LinkedIn has helped me a lot, and joining LinkedIn was a very good decision for me.
Okay. So next question is again for Sehandu. Now, you closed the YouTube channel that you originally started. What made you close it?
The main reason is actually my O-levels. Main reason because at the time I had a few months left for my O-level examination, and then also I wanted to move on to new things. I had started an Instagram page and I was actually gaining a lot of traction there. For the time being, when I got like 50, 60 views over on YouTube, I was getting 4,000, 5,000 views on Instagram. Those are small numbers, but for me back then, with someone who had been creating YouTube videos for years, with only getting hundreds of views per video, this huge number was insane. And I thought, okay, one day after, because clearly I noticed it was easier to grow the audience on TikTok, Instagram. So I thought, okay, I'll just make the videos on Instagram from now. And one day when I have a sufficient enough audience, I'll come back to YouTube. That way it's easier for me because I can just ask the audience that I have, hey, look, I have YouTube now, subscribe to that as well. So I noticed that after I started again, it took me about at least close to or more than a year to get 100 subscribers when I just started, because obviously no one knew. But now I'm at 250 plus something, and obviously that's a small number because I just started out. But didn't even take me a month or two because I just asked people, hey, look, I have a YouTube now, just come check it out. So just come check it out. If they like the stuff that I make already, they want more, so they just come and subscribe. So I just wanted to stop at the time and come back at a more suitable time when I felt I was more ready for the platform.
Okay, so next question is actually for Nethila. Nethila, are you on TikTok?
I am on TikTok, and most people say that TikTok is addicting, and yes, TikTok is addicting. But I have put like a 45-minute timer onto my TikTok so that I don't get carried away with TikTok. So it limits me to 45 minutes. And I do have a TikTok account, and it has about one video a video of me solving the Rubik's Cube pretty fast, and it got some traction. Like some people came and said, hi, nice talent. So I do have an account, I do have a video, and it's only one video, and it's been a while since I've done any other videos on TikTok, but I have a lot of things planned for it. So stay tuned for the TikTok. I will let you know when I start uploading some good content.
So on TikTok, you are more or less a consumer than a creator.
Yes, I am a consumer on TikTok.
I wonder what you consume now. That's a separate discussion altogether. Yeah. So this is an invitation to the viewers here. Thank you very much for joining with us. You could ask any question from these teenagers about social media. If you have a teenage son or a daughter, this could also be maybe an understanding. This is an opportunity for you to understand what's going on, because we are also talking about platforms. And then I don't say that these two represent 100% those platforms, but then they are members of those platforms. So you could pretty well ask some questions and get first-hand answers. Let's see. I have a few questions ready for the rest of the show. So now this is a question for Sehandu. What can a teen do on TikTok? Like dancing?
See, that's up to the person. So as opposed to creating content, most people would just be consuming content rather than creating. And I think that's actually, it's okay if, but I think if you have some talent, some skill, let's say for like example, my brother can solve the Rubik's Cube fast, he just recorded it and put it on TikTok. So he was doing what he was already doing, just recorded it and put it up on the internet. And so that's what you should be doing. So it can be anything. If you're into cooking, of course, there's thousands, if not hundreds of like millions of pages out there already, TikTok accounts, millions of people doing that already. But that doesn't mean you can't offer something unique. You can bring something unique to the table, something people haven't seen before. Maybe you play an instrument. Okay, there are millions, if not billions of people who are already doing that. But then you can do something different. You can play a few instruments at the same time, sync them up together, create something unique. Even that's been done, but you can come up with something. And even if you don't come up with something unique, it's not going to harm you because you like to play the instrument. You record it and you upload it. So you're doing what you're already doing. If you're passionate about it, you won't even have to force yourself to make videos because you'll just end up recording what you do anyway normally. If you're cooking, maybe you'll set up your phone on the side and live stream your cooking. People will come and watch, say hi, and but you're just making dinner. No harm done.
So there's live streaming facility available on TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok has live streaming as well. It has a live streaming studio where you can unlock special features. And the live streaming is available once you pass a certain milestone. So not every new account gets the live streaming facility. But once you pass a certain milestone and they realize, okay, this guy is serious about making content, we'll let him go live. And then even after you're allowed to go live, there's a certain point where you can receive donations. Like on YouTube Live, you can donate and get highlighted comments. Like on Twitch, you can do the same thing. Likewise, over there, you can give donations where you can actually earn money from your lives. But for that, you have to go live for a certain amount of hours and you have to keep up. There's something called live ranks where every week there's a rank and you can climb up to the leaderboard. And the more you go, the more viewers, the more donations and gifts you can receive. They're called gifts. So these gifts are just basically virtual currency kind of. And if you are going live and you get a gift from someone watching, that's just money in your pocket. And you're just doing what you love already. You're providing entertainment, you're making people happy, you're doing what you love, and you're earning from it. So
yeah. So let me ask you this question also. Say, imagine there's someone who doesn't do much, and then you go to TikTok or Instagram, you start creating. What happens to that individual? Not depends on what the person is creating, but as an individual, what happens?
So you mean if they go to just consume content?
No, create content. Like what happened to the person's character, or his confidence and stuff like that.
Okay, so it's a number of things. Once you improve your confidence because you learn to kind of not care about what other people think. I can personally tell you, I still have a few friends who make fun of me for making videos, and that's how it is. But at least now it's not that much because now I have the views and they can see, okay, he's growing, right? And they've shut up now. But obviously, the people are going to laugh. You're going to get some criticism. Way back in 2000, I think about 17, when I started this, 16 or 17 when I started, I remember people were laughing, my friends were laughing. I was just saying, making videos, hey guys, welcome to my channel. There was no guys, there was just the people that I knew watching the video. I didn't really care. And when I started making the skits that I make, it was me talking to myself, wearing different clothes. So the people I knew found it weird. They laughed, they made fun of it. But at the end of the day, I just shrugged it off because it shouldn't stop me. And if I did stop, I wouldn't have just been on this journey. So I think it actually helps you grow as a person. It makes you more creative because you start thinking, oh, how can I improve my next video? How can I improve my audio, my lighting, my video? What can I do to keep the viewer more engaged? What outfit should I combine next? What's more attractive? You just build your confidence. I mean, you should just do your thing.
So looks like it also helps you to be more creative.
Yes, it almost forces you to become creative. For me, what I found is some days I'm even lazy to make videos, but then I think because I just make some boring video because I had a schedule where I had a streak one time. I think about 150 or 60 days I uploaded continuously every single day, and people knew about this. So it helped the page kind of grow really, really fast because people are saying he's making videos. I don't know how he's doing it because every single day for more than I think 150 days I did it. That was about, I think, 2021. That is, but after that point, I didn't have to suffer, let's say that much, because my audience knew that he uploads. Now, if you ask anyone from my audience who have been following me for a while, what time does I upload a video? They'll know the time. Because every time I upload, it's 5:30 p.m. 5:30, consistency. So they just subconsciously know there's a new video at 5:30. So that's also, these are all creative stuff. You figure out, okay, how do I let my audience know what time I'm uploading? Then you can do stories, interact with people, you can run polls, then share the results so that people see, oh, okay, this is what other people said. And then, you can just, for another example is at the end of the year, I did a video where I asked strangers, I put up a story, so about 600 people view my story, and then I asked them, what's the most important lesson that you learned this year? Then I've had various people put in everything. Of course, I can see on the back end who put it in, but then I said, I'm going to use this for a video, I'm going to keep it anonymous. And then people wrote everything about their breakups, about their misfortunes, about their losses, everything. And they said the important things that they learned from those. What I did was I took them, anonymously put them into a video, and they put it out. And then most people found that to be amazing because you just learn from what other person's experiences. So these are all just creative stuff that you can come up with when you're into content creation.
Okay, great. Oh, Nethila, I wonder whether you have anything to say here. Anyway, I have a question. Now, when it comes to YouTube Shorts, like we know that YouTube Shorts and TikTok are fighting with each other in a crazy way. So if I may ask you, Nethila, would you prefer TikTok or YouTube Shorts?
I would take YouTube Shorts.
Okay.
Because not something like TikTok is better than YouTube or something. Not because that kind of thing, but because it's like if an Android user who's been using Android for his entire life, and someone asks him, "Do you like Apple more than Android?" No, it's because he knows Android better than Apple, and he has more knowledge about it, so he just prefers Android. So like that, I prefer YouTube because I've been using it for longer than TikTok.
Okay. So would you rather prefer YouTube Shorts or YouTube long form videos?
I like both equally. Like if I'm in a more in a mood where I'm not willing to watch a long video and I just want to get some have some fun or get some comedy, get a good laugh once in a while in just a couple of seconds, in a minute or two, I'll go to YouTube Shorts. But if I want to learn something or watch an actual video about something I'm really interested in, I will watch long form content.
Okay. So I have an additional question. Now this is for the viewers. We have two teenagers here and they talk about how they leverage the social media and what they consume and what do they do. And then as creators, what do they do? And this is what the discussion is. So you could chip in by way of asking them a question with a comment. I can see on one channel, I can see more than 15 people watching has joined with us. So you can actually ask a question. So Natila, I have this question. Don't you think, let's say that you continue to watch YouTube Shorts and then there's less chance of you choosing what to watch. It is continuously feeding. The algorithm is understanding what you like. Now, don't you think that the algorithm is taking over your choice and forcing you to watch what it wants you to watch?
Yeah, there is something like that. Depending on whatever you watch, the algorithm will forcefully put that into your recommended feed. But you can actually break that cycle by going into different. I've seen other people do this by suddenly while the algorithm thinks that they're gonna look at something. What, say you've been looking at cats for the past week, and algorithm next day he thinks you're gonna watch about cats. It's gonna send you cats, but you don't go for cats. You go up and search an entirely different topic to break that cycle, so that the algorithm is forced to show you different things, new things.
So is that how you could get rid of addiction?
Get rid of addiction? No, I mean, maybe that's for some people, maybe, because once you break that cycle and it starts showing you new things, then you'll get addicted to another new thing.
Okay. Interesting facts. So at least you knowing about how the algorithm works is important. So if you really want, you can break the cycle. Now, this question is for Sehandu. How can a teen leverage Instagram? I mean, are you on Instagram? I know you're on Instagram, but then where are you more active, on Instagram or on TikTok?
It depends. See, so TikTok is more of like, so the way that people can engage on TikTok is a little more less, I would say, than what people can engage with you on Instagram. So example, you have TikTok comments, and then not everyone can DM, but they recently launched that feature where anyone can message you. Earlier that wasn't possible. You had to be following them back for them to be able to message you. But still, compared to the stories are way better on Instagram. It's just Instagram is more social. And before I touch on that, just one more thing for the previous question that you asked, Natila. If you want to learn more about how the TikTok algorithm works, there's this really cool video by the Wall Street Journal, and it's titled How TikTok's Algorithm Figures You Out. So they set up a bunch of bots, give them a bunch of personalities with no prior context, no information, and they just let them doom scroll, just keep scroll. And by the time, in a few hours, just in a few minutes, 20-30 minutes, the algorithm has already figured out pretty much everything it needs to know about this person and keeps feeding the videos that the people who conduct this experiment set a bunch of profiles for these robots. They just set it themselves. And they just said the robots, watch these kinds of videos, just scroll these kinds of videos. Based on how long you watch the videos, for how many seconds you watched it, did you read the comments, how many comments did you like in the video, how many times over did you watch the video, did you download it, did you share it, all of that, did you scroll and then go back to it and watch it again? Every single factor is considered. It actually blew my mind. You should definitely watch it again. The Wall Street Journal. The video is called How TikTok's Algorithm Figures You Out. It's really interesting. You should definitely watch it. I think about a 13-minute video. And yeah, so coming back to your question, I think Instagram is more of a better place where your followers and you can interact. So what I've done is I've linked my Instagram and my YouTube on my TikTok homepage. So when someone checks out my profile, they can just click a button and they be taken to my Instagram. If they like it, they can follow there as well.
Okay, so we have a comment from Kasun. When it comes to creating and publishing content for platforms, also it is easy to lose focus and momentum over time. What strategies can follow to stay motivated, overcome common obstacles, and consistently produce high quality content that resonate with the audience for the long term? I think best answer could be given by Sehandu, because he has been doing this more consistently than Nethila.
Okay. So it depends on what kind of videos you're watching. So let me just pull up something. And also, because I think we have talked about earlier, you talked about with Nethila, the more whether he prefers to consume short content or long content. See, making long videos is okay. But right now, if you're not making shorts, you're doing a big mistake. Shorts or TikTok or Instagram, YouTube, wherever it may be, you're doing a mistake. In fact, the human attention span is, I think, 8 point something seconds. The goldfish has a better attention span than us. I read that somewhere. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure, right? So much so that if you open the Netflix app on your phone, there's a section called short clips where they actually have just short, funny clips from shows. This is inside the Netflix app. So they made it basically TikTok. Why? Because people are just consuming short pieces of content as opposed to watching long episodes. So as you can see, it's really, really important. So if you want to stay, and then another thing you could do is, once you've been making videos for some time, you'll get access to analytics. I mean, that's there from day one, but you need some traction. Then you can track your analytics. Then you can see what time your follower base is most active, what kind of videos are they watching, what's their gender, what's their age, and then you can figure out, okay, for me personally, it's my audience age is just my age, teenagers, because my target audience is them. I make content for them, so naturally, that's the type of people who consume my content. Because I am their age, and basically I am them, and they are me. I know what they're into, what they're consuming, what trends they're into, so what videos are they watching. So if you are in, say, a tech niche, you should know, okay, what new software was released, what's happening with Microsoft, what are they buying, what's happening with Apple, what's happening with Samsung, what are they doing, where are they investing, what new products are they launching. For me, it's just entertainment, news, kids. So mostly, if you're on TikTok, audios, that's really, really important, because every single week some new song is trending, some new trend is there. It just comes out of nowhere, but it just like a attention span, it's gone. So if you don't hop on the trend at that time, you're losing a really, really big opportunity. So of course, creating high quality content is really important. Quality over content is something that I believe in. But sometimes you tend to procrastinate. You think, okay, this video is not great, or I need to figure out how to make the perfect video. Don't. Just make it and upload it, because having no videos, uploading one medium quality video a week is better than uploading no video for 2 weeks and then just uploading something great. Now, it's a different story if you have like millions of followers, of course. But then when you're starting out, what you want to do is put out as much content as you can.
Okay, Kasun, I hope you would have got something out of a teenager who is creating content in multiple platforms. So Nethila, I have a question for you. So let me take you to the stage. My question to you is like, what are your favorite channels or favorite things on YouTube Short? Like what kind of things do you watch as a teenager who is 13 years old?
So when I first started to get on YouTube Shorts, the algorithm would just naturally throw random stuff at me to kind of figure out what I would be into. And according to the videos I liked, some of them were completely random. There was some comedy, some about sports, gaming information, small unboxing videos, different types of content, all which are short and compact into a tiny 1 minute, 2 minute long video that I can watch and enjoy by sitting on the couch, and I can just scroll to the next one. So if you get a lot of education ones on them, then you can learn a lot. Quick learning, like you can learn a lot of facts very quickly, and they're easy to understand. The people often make it very simple for you. So depending on what you like, what you watch, like my brother said, the thing, if you rewatch the video many times, or if you go back to the video after scrolling, something like that, the algorithm will realize that you're into that form of content, and it will start feeding you more.
Okay, interesting. I think I am learning. from two teenagers who are doing it. Yeah. So if you want, Nethila, what you mean is they can help you grow.
Yeah.
So if you look for educational content or inspirational content.
Yeah, if you look for educational content, you can find educational content on there, all which are short, and then sometimes you can find motivational speakers as well, small motivational speakers on the platform. Different, almost an infinite amount of different content you can find on there. Limitless.
Okay. So next question is for Sehandu. Sehandu ගෙනුත් ප්‍රශ්නයක් අහමු. Sehandu සල්ලි හම්බ කරන්න ලේසි TikTok එකෙන්ද එහෙම නැත්නම් Instagram එකෙන්ද YouTube shorts වලින්ද සල්ලි හම්බ කරන්න ලේසි? එහෙම නැත්නම් මම මෙහෙම අහන්නම්කෝ TikTok එකෙන් සල්ලි හම්බ කරන්න පුළුවන්ද?
පුළුවන්. එක ක්‍රමයක් තමයි මං අර කියපු live යද්දි donation ගන්න විදිය. right. ඒක එකක්. but ඒකට audience එකක් හදාගෙන ටිකක් කාල තියෙනවා. ඒක එහෙම කරද්දි ගන්න අමාරුයි. හැම එකේම කරන්න අමාරුයි. නමක් හදාගෙන තියෙනවා නම් ලොකු කෙනෙක් නම් හිතන්නකෝ ධම්මික පෙරේරා පටන් ගන්නවා TikTok page එක. මිනිස්සු follow කරනවා නේ. ඉතින් එයාට කොහොමද සල්ලි හම්බ කරන්න ඕනේ නෑ. එයා නමුත් එයාට ඒක කරන්න ලේසි. ඉතින් එයා පටන් ගත්තා. ඒ වගේ නමක් තියෙන කෙනෙක් celebrity කෙනෙක් TV program එකකින් ඉන්න කෙනෙක් ගියොත් කොහොමත් අග්ගාලා followers වෙනවා. monetize කරන්න YouTube channel එකක් ලේසි. ඉතින් එහෙම. ඉතින් එතකොට ඔයා කරන දේ අනුව ඔයා කවුද කියන ගන්නේ ඔක්කොම තීරණය වෙනවා. TikTok වල එකක් අරග ඊළඟ ක්‍රමය තමයි brand deals. ඒතර පොඩි brands ගොඩක් දැන් micro influencers එක්ක වැඩ කරනවා. පොඩි follow ප්‍රමාණයක් ඉන්න කට්ටිය 10000ක් 20000 අතර ඉන්න කට්ටිය ලොකු කට්ටිය reach කරන්න අමාරු නිසා එහෙම ක්‍රමයකුත් තියෙනවා. ඉතින් එහෙම කරන්න පුළුවන් TikTok වල සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ඒ දෙක තමයි ලොකුවටම මේන් තියෙන්නේ ඒ දෙක තමයි. ඊට අමතරව මම හිතන්නේ මේ අපේ region එකේ නෑ ඒක gifts යවන්න පුළුවන් වීඩියෝ comments වල ඩොලර්ස් ගානක් දීලා ඒක අපේ ඒෂියා region එකට එක දෙන්නේ නැහැ. හැම එකක්ම වගේ අපි ඩිස්ක්‍රිමිනේට් කරලා තියෙන්නේ දෙන්නේ නැහැ features දැම්ම. ඒක තියෙනවා. ඉතින් YouTube වල බලුවොත් ඉතින් අපි සාමාන්‍ය විදිහටම තමයි monetize කරන්නේ. watch hours ගානේ subscribers 1000යි watch hours මම හිතන්නේ 10000ක් වගේ ඕනේ. 10000ක් හරි මට මතක නෑ ඒ ප්‍රමාණය තියෙන ඒ ගාන ඕනේ. YouTube වල ඒක තමයි. YouTube shorts වල මෙතන මිලියන 10ක් ඕනේ views monetize කරන්න apply කරන්න මට මතක විදිහට. මොකද shorts කියන ඒවා traction ගන්නවට ටක් ගාලා. ඉතින් ඒක ඒගොල්ලෝ ලොකු number එකක් දීලා තියෙනවා ඒකට. නමුත් TikTok views වලින් හම්බෙන සල්ලි ප්‍රමාණය බැලුවොත් ඒ තේරුමක්ම නෑ එහෙම හම්බ කරන්න බෑ. මොකද මම දැකලා තියෙන සමහර ක්‍රියේටර්ස්ලා දැන් කොහොමද දන්නේ? මොකද මාස කිහිපයකට කලින් මම දැක්ක 1.2 1.3 මිලියන් එන වීඩියෝ එකකටත් නිකන් ඩොලර් 7 ගාණක් වගේ තමයි හම්බෙන්නේ. මොකද එහෙම ගෙවන්න ගියොත් ඒගොල්ලන්ට ගෙවලා ඉවරයක් නැතිලා. කම්පැනි එක බෑන්ක්‍රප්ට් වෙනවා. TikTok වල viral වෙනවා කියන එක super easy. එතකොට හැම වීඩියෝ එකකටම වගේ 1 මිලියන් වගේ දෙනවා. ඉතින් ඒ වීඩියෝ එන වීඩියෝ එකට ඩොලර් 10 ගාණක් දෙන්න ගියොත් එimhe TikTok එක නෑ අද. ඒක නිසා එහෙම කරන්න අමාරුයි. but කරන platform එක අනුව දාන වීඩියෝ එක අනුව එක වෙනස් වෙනවා.
Okay. So I have a question for Nethila. Now you create content on YouTube and on LinkedIn. Those are your platforms. Can anybody become a creator? At least if you look at those two platforms.
Yeah, anyone can become a creator. It just depends on what kind of content you want to create. Do you want to create now with the now short form content has also become pretty famous. So you can start, say for example, if you take YouTube, you can start a YouTube channel based on what you want to do. What are you interested in? Like, what are you interested in doing? Do you want to start a gaming channel where you review games? Do you want to have a car review channel? If you have that kind of, if you have the ability to get in contact with people who have cars, and if you can get those cars in your hand and do a small video on them, then you can become like a car. It depends if you're passionate about it, if you're interested in it. Or you can talk about fashion on your YouTube channel. Or you can become, after learning about content creation, you can teach other people how to create content. Something like that could also be possible if you're passionate about it, and if you have some knowledge about it, and if you're capable, you can create that content. So yeah, anyone can become a content creator.
I have a question now. Majority of the children, especially if their parents are not at home, if they are working from 8 to 5, they don't have the time or the permission to go out and look for cars or anything like that. So say you're at home, what kind of channels or what kind of themes the kids or teenagers can work on? You have any idea? Have you seen?
I didn't understand.
Say not every teenager can go out and look for people who have cars or go to fashion stores. You're stuck at home.
Yeah.
So what kind of content somebody can create while being at home instead of going out and meeting people or or looking for cars or fashion or things like that?
You can talk about things like, say, for example, if you read you could have stuff like a book reading channel, like a channel about books, about the books that you have at home. Or if, say, for example, you are now for me example, I make Legos, so I play with Lego. I do all sorts of things. So if you're a very talented builder and if you're very creative with it, then maybe you can have a Lego channel and build it around Lego, your creations, the things you make. And you can help other people make things as well. You can put out instructions, things like that. Or things about, you could talk about business and entrepreneurship if you have the knowledge. Or if you're a music player, if you can sing, maybe you can post some music covers as well. I play piano, I play guitar. So if you do any of those instruments, if you can play any of them, you could have like a musical channel. Those are some examples of content you can have at home.
At home. Okay, thank you, Nithila. So we have a comment. Let's see, it's toward who. With the introduction of shorts in the social media, overuse of shorts will be kind of waste of time because attention span is short term. As you said, the user should select the depth of information he or she wishes to, and content creators should focus on creating both shorts and extended cuts. Any suggestions? So maybe Sehandu can answer that.
True, overusing shorts. So now on TikTok, you can upload, I think, up to 10-minute videos now. As far as I know, that's the limit. And now something we've never seen before is all this time we've been consuming TikTok at this direction. Now for longer videos, there's a button called full screen and you can just watch content to this side. So TikTok is basically becoming YouTube. YouTube is becoming TikTok. As you can see, whatever is working, all these companies are just copying each other. So TikTok already had the shorts. So now they're going for longer videos. YouTube had the longer videos. Now they're going for shorts. So now the advantage is, earlier you had to think about filming this way, whatever, that can be avoided if you film in 4K. That's a different story. But you have to just think about which way you want to film. Now it doesn't matter, because if you film a vertical video, cool, you can upload it anywhere. You film a horizontal video, okay, you can upload it anywhere. So it's more about now repurposing. The term repurposing is going to lose its value very soon, because you don't have to repurpose your content anymore. You can just upload it as it is and people will still watch it. But then another thing is, you can cut out small snippets of your longer videos on YouTube and then upload them to TikTok. If you don't want to upload, let's say you make a 30-minute long vlog, you can upload the whole thing to TikTok. You find the most funniest, most entertaining, most attention-grabbing parts, or one part, or then you put them together, make a 30-second clip, put it on TikTok. That goes viral. People check your profile, click the link, go to YouTube, subscribe. So something like that.
Okay. So we have another viewer here, Hasara. Hi, good evening. Good evening to you, and thank you for joining with us. And then Nithila, I have another question. Before we wind up, we have a few more questions. Like, how do you manage addiction? And then how do you also choose good content and bad content? So if algorithm is pushing bad content, like you watch one bad content and then it's going to push more, and then there's no parents, like I can't be monitoring what you are watching. I can monitor, or maybe, of course, I can have some control over, let's say, adult content or whatever, but then it's up to the teenager to manage their, I would say, discipline. Or how do you do it?
So on YouTube, like I said before, for your first question, you said how can you control that content that you get? You can break the cycle, like I mentioned, by going to different content, looking through different content, and basically confusing the heck out of the algorithm to the point where it doesn't understand what you watch, and it'll just reset and send you different things. So you can just confuse it like that. So it'll stop sending you the bad stuff and it'll send like a mix of it. So you get to redecide what you want to watch. So you can like it, comment on it, then the algorithm will automatically know that you're engaged in this type of content and you're interested in this type of content. So it will keep sending you the content that you have selected, which will be good. The content will be good.
So
if you're
that's with regard to good and bad content. Let's say you can't stop watching, like you go on. How do you stop addiction? What do you do?
Like I mentioned before, I have a limit onto my TikTok that you have installed, which...
So I basically, this is for the listeners. As a parent, I can allow Nethila to watch 1 hour of TikTok videos per day. That's it. So I have I mean, if you ask me, Nethila was not on TikTok. I created his account. I gave it and I told him, look, I'm going to activate this 1 hour quota per day, which I did. And then, of course, if he wants to watch more TikTok, he'll have to come and take my phone and watch TikTok. But then algorithm will feed only what I watch, unless and otherwise he confused the algorithm by watching maybe different stuff. Other than that, that's what we do.
So since my dad has added the limit, now I don't even wait until the limit is up. Before the limit start, before I even reach the limit, I automatically know time's about up, time's about to be up, time to get off.
Okay, right. So thank you, Nethila, and for those who are with us, Nethila is the founder of Masspreneurs. Masspreneurs is an academy to teach entrepreneurship to kids. Nethila, you want to say something about your next workshop, which will happen on the 26th?
I will be having a workshop to teach kids how to run an ice cream shop once again. I will be we had one previously on I believe it is on the 6th.
No, the new one will be on 26th February at 8:30 in the morning. So
we will be teaching kids how to run an ice cream shop. So the kids will by 8:30 it will start. And we will take your kids through the entire ice cream shop. We will show how to sell to the customer, how to talk to a customer. Before we show everything, we'll have a small 30-minute presentation where we'll explain the basics of how a business works, like how to talk to a customer, how to manage finance, those kind of things. And then we'll take them around the entire ice cream shop. And we will show them all the parts like the freezer, we will even take them to the register so that they can sell an ice cream to an actual customer, so that they can get that in-depth experience, that experiential learning.
Yeah. So if you are interested in teaching entrepreneurship, selling skills to your kid, what you could do is you can go to Nethila's social media handle, either to LinkedIn or his Facebook profile, which goes as Cinnamonchat with Nethila, and you can find the flyer and the registration link. Register your child. I think there are about 15 kids already registered. We are expecting around 20 kids. It's a small place. The location is in Moratuwa, Newtown, Moratuwa, and let's plan to meet with your kids over there. So thank you, Nethila. I have a question for Sehandu, one or two questions maybe. My next question would be, what are the harms of social media if not managed well? I mean, let's face the fact, not everybody will be able to be safe on social media.
True. Especially the main issue is addiction. And if you're not careful and if you're not self-aware, so you can take all these precautions. You can add app timers, you can watch out for what content you're consuming, like Nethila said, but none of that matters, because first you have to realize, I have an addiction. Unless you take accountability, if you refuse to accept that you have an addiction and you don't want to accept it, then nobody can help you, because even sometimes you do it even though you're guilty. You shouldn't be spending time on social media. I mean, obviously it's okay, but there's a limit to it, right? Me personally, being a content creator, being someone who makes hundreds of videos, still I don't spend more than an hour on Instagram. Even today, I've spent like 30 minutes on Instagram, because I don't have to be on Instagram. I can upload or I can reply to comments. Sure, there are days so I have to spend 2, sometimes even 3 hours. That's when I'm doing something, engaging with my followers, say replying to them if have gone live, something like that. Unless and otherwise there's something like that, I have trained myself to not spend that much time on Instagram. And even TikTok, I have a 1 hour limit. All of these while being a content creator. So if someone who makes content can do it, someone who consumes can do it. And it can have a lot of negative, especially if you're going through something. Let's say you're going through a hard time and you have depression. I mean, let's say you don't have depression, but then once you start watching these sad videos, the algorithm will start showing you all these sad videos, which can it's a rabbit hole. Then you go into depression. And again, it's so very well explained in that video, the Wall Street Journal's video. That's what I'm saying. If you consume TikTok, if you use TikTok, then it's good that you watch that video. So at least you subconsciously know that You shouldn't be spending time. Another thing that I have done is every time I open TikTok, I get a notification saying, stop wasting time, go do something productive. So it doesn't matter how many times I open that, every time I open it, there's a pop-up from the top. Then I'm reminded I shouldn't be doing this. Obviously, there is something else that I should be doing. Every time I open it, I see that message. Then I remember, at least I'll scroll for 5 minutes and stop, because every time I open it, I'm guilty. I should be doing something more productive. So you can do various measures. Apart from that, there's the time limit. And then now what I did was I set a passcode as well, so that I had to enter that passcode if I want to continue using. So as opposed to dismissing the message and continue using, now I have to enter a password. While I'm entering that, so I'm entering the password also, that I'm that into it now. At this point, I should stop. So you can take various precautions, even though you're addicted. Another great concept, one of my favorite YouTubers, so he actually talks about mostly all this productivity and kind of self-improvement. And he talks about, I mean, not him, I think his name is, I think it's pronounced Ayman Gadzi. A lot of videos are available on this topic, but I watched this one. So it's called a dopamine detox. So basically, every time you consume this content, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, your brain releases dopamine. That's why you're so addicted to doing it, as opposed to doing work or studying. That doesn't release dopamine into your brain. You want to immediately stop doing that, and you want instant gratification. You want to take it, just scroll. So that just releases dopamine. What a dopamine detox does is it just clears your brain. So what you should do is 7 days, no YouTube. So no YouTube. TikTok, I mean, I don't know if you can stop it, it's great. But I just know, even though you tell yourself you can do it, you can't do it. I know it. Anyone watching, you tell yourself, but you can't. That's the bitter truth. But if you can do it, fantastic. You can uninstall that if that helps. I can't do that because I make content. But actually, I did it at the end of last year, which is 2022. For I think 2 weeks, I told my followers that, look, I'm taking a break. I've been going through so much this, and I need to take some time for myself. And I took, I think, 10 days off social media. Not a single, I stopped. I removed Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, you name it, I deleted it. YouTube on my browser, I have a side blocker installed anyway. That was there from my O-level days, that I used to block YouTube because I spent time on there. I activated that. Not a single, I was going crazy. The only thing I had was WhatsApp, and the reason I kept that was because obviously you need that to stay in touch. But by the end of it, I was thinking, if I didn't make content, maybe I wouldn't have gone back to TikTok. But the reason I had to go back, because obviously there was something, I do it with passion and I love it. I can't abandon it. That is there. That attachment is there. But when you create and you have that, you naturally start to consume again. But that was so life-changing. And honestly, I think everyone should do a dopamine detox, at least, once every few months. Just 7 days. Stop social media. WhatsApp is fine. Everything else, just stop it. You can live without it. It's a want. It's not a need. And after I realized that, I learned a lot of things. And another, like I mentioned, the Ayman Gadzi, I think you should, even for adults, mostly adults, he has a lot of good videos about managing your finances. And he's a millionaire with lots of businesses. So very, very, very useful. If you're going to watch YouTube, at least watch people like him, so that you learn something new.
Okay. I'm learning something, certain things which I didn't know. Thank you, Sehandu. So we have Charana. Hi, good evening, good luck. And then we have Nathila, your good friend, Mr. Tarindra Kalpak. He's outstanding content, Mr. Gamages. Very impressive response from Sehandu. Yeah. And then, if you want to hurt Amita Gamages' feelings, all what you have to do is remove LinkedIn from my phone and my laptop. Then you could actually hurt me. Other than that, of course, I consume Instagram, I consume TikTok, a little bit of YouTube, but then I'm mostly addicted, I would say, because I grow and my business is entirely on LinkedIn. So, and then you hardly find bad content. And then of course, I'm a premium user, so I have LinkedIn Learning. So it's a platform to learn and grow for everybody. Okay, we have a question. Only kids are allowed to attend the workshop. Yes, Isan, kids, it's because it's done by Nethila. He's 13 years old. And of course, parents are welcome to come, because eventually parents are supposed to buy an ice cream from the son. Kids are getting ice cream, but the parents they have to sell an ice cream. Maybe if the ice cream is $200, the balance, calculating the balance, exchange money, all that would happen, or maybe paying with the credit card, all that will be done by the kid. So it is for the kids. Thank you. And then I think I have one more question. You basically answered my other question, which is what is your advice for teens on social media usage? So can we take the answer you gave as the answer for that, or you want to add anything more, Sehandu?
I mean, it's the same for everyone. I think as adults, more than the teens, more than the kids, it's you should know because you have access to the internet and you can learn. And there are so many challenges that you can join personally. Another YouTuber that I follow, he started this thing for the month of February, a 30-day challenge. So basically, he just created a small community, and if you're ready to do a few, he gave a certain a list of things that you have to do every day. Wake up at 5 a.m. You have to meditate. You have to journal, and you have to exercise for 30 minutes every day. That's a challenge, and he built a community around it. And if you fail a single day, you have to start over again the 30 days. So that's a way to program your brain to just be able to, let's say, control yourself. Because when you want dopamine, it's like you're addicted to, drugs. It's basically the same thing. It's the same concept. You can't stop. So once you get into a routine, let's say have a time that you use your phone in the day. That's what I've been doing recently. I've been getting up at 5, and I don't touch my phone in the first hour. Actually, another point that I should mention is the first thing, if you wake up in the morning and you use the phone, that's actually not good. You probably knew that already. You shouldn't start scrolling, because then you start doom scrolling. It's called doom scrolling. You just scroll to your doom. First thing in the morning, you're consuming, and first thing in the morning, before even your water or your cup of coffee, you're using dopamine. So when you wake up, if you don't have a hit of dopamine, it's like you don't have, you're addicted to it. So try to, somewhere you can start. Don't use the phone first thing when you wake up. For the first hour, at least avoid it.
Nethila. Yeah, I hear terms like doom scrolling, doom dopamine.
Yeah, when you eat, you shouldn't be consuming content. I actually do that mistake myself. I'm trying to break that habit. So because when you're eating like this. You're not even looking at
Have I told you? Have you ever seen me consuming content while eating? No.
Never, right? Me, I'm usually not on the phone. I'm usually watching some Netflix show most of the time. That's wrong. So I'm trying to stop that. And if you're doing it, you should try to stop it too.
Yeah, so for the benefit of everybody else here who are watching, we generally have at least dinner as a family where we all 4 of us sit together and eat together, maybe discuss what happened during the day, and that bonds the family. That builds. Sometimes it is very helpful if you are working 8 to 5, so that when you come back from work, I know if your kids are very small, you can't do it, but then today's topic is about leveraging social media for teenagers. So if you have teenagers, these are some of the additional things to help them stay away from social media and build those family relationships. So my last question again for Sehandu. Sehandu, any inputs, any final thoughts to parents? A lot of parents are watching.
I can only talk about mostly content creation. Right? So if your kid is into content creation, obviously you might want to see what kind of content they're creating. Are they providing any value? Are they doing any harm to their personal character, their personal brand? If not, I say encourage it if it's not getting in the way of their studies and whatnot. Because I know my dad got me a camera and he pushed me to do content. Usually when I used to make vlogs, I still do. When we go on trips, if there's a short route, we take the long route, because my dad would say, this road is nicer, we'll go there. Those are things I'll never forget. And it's such an experience. You learn a lot of things as well, and you start to think in a content sort of mindset. So when I'm watching TV, when I'm watching movies, I'm thinking, okay, how many cameras did they use? What did they edit this with? How many people are behind the scenes? How many stunt doubles? You start to think in a very unique way. Not everyone is thinking that. And if they have maybe it's just dancing, maybe like I said, cooking, maybe like they like to do book summaries. It doesn't matter if it's just something they love. Most parents like a Peppa just don't, they don't believe in that, right? But I should say we are in a very content heavy world. It's if you're not making content, I should say, what are you doing? It's all here. This is all you need. You don't need an expensive camera, micro, nothing. Just your phone. You can start creating content. So I say to parents, encourage it if they are, instead of, at least if you want to say negative stuff and discourage them, don't do that. Don't say anything.
All right. So that comes to an end of today's session. The Sri Lanka's longest running LinkedIn live talk show, Cinnamonchat. And today's it's episode 87, how teenagers could leverage social media. I would like to thank everyone who commented, who came and who watched it. And then, if you have taken something out of this to help your teenagers, or it could be your neighbors, your friends, their sons and daughters, if you really think about this from a very, very positive angle, there are a lot of positives in it. There's a lot of things that we all could learn and help each other, and then, progress. So thank you very much, everybody, for joining. Hopefully we'll try and see whether we could go live next week. If not, for sure, we'll be coming back after 2 weeks. Thank you very much, everybody, and good night.
Good night.
Good night.